Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd, fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa min ayatihi an khalaqa lakum min anfusikum azwajan litaskunu ilayha wa ja'ala bainakum mawaddatan wa rahmatan inna fi dhalika laayatin liqaumin yatafakkarun. Wa qala Allahu ta'ala wallahu ja'ala lakum min buyutikum sakana. Sadaqallahul Azim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi wa sahbihi wa barik wa sallam. Dear my Muslims, brother and sister, and my all listeners, today my topic is how to make your family and life a source of contentment. So, family, dear my listeners, family life is a source of contentment. My most respected elders, brother, most esteemed mothers and sisters in Islam, family life is a source of contentment, a source of ease and serenity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept comfort and blessing in one's home by attaching oneself to a married life. A person may attain tranquility. Allah has mentioned home and married life in the Quran as vital factor towards happiness. In this aspect, a fundamental understanding is that whether it is home, life, or material life, if all members are Allah fearing, then there will be long lasting compatibility. If each one is aiming to do good deeds, then most definitely there will be love and harmony. There will be mutual trust and will be beneficiaries to each other. The home will become an abode where peace and tranquility will blossom. All of this is subject to deen being is the foundation of these family and material relations. There are accounts from the life of our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that whenever he returned distraught from outside affairs, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam found relief in his spouse Hazrat Khatija radhiyallahu ta'ala anha in the form of consoling and assurances. It's a pity that the Muslims of today is deprived of this relief that one can attain from one's home and marriage. Sadly, today you will find people flocking to clubs, hotels, resort, and various other entertainment venues to attain peace and tranquility. And since the enjoyment that one attains from these venues is superficial, therefore it's not long lasting and is readily exhausted. There is no peace in dunya and what it contains. So, my listeners, I am talking about there is no peace in dunya means the world. Dunya, we say in Urdu, dunya, in English, the world, and what it contains. So, my listener, Allah has not kept fulfillment in these temporarily worldly assets. Real and long-lasting contentment lies in one's home and in one's family life. However, there are some principles that need to be followed in order to benefit from and avail this tranquility. The condition of these times is such that the homes of the pious are also robbed of this endowment of peace and calm. The challenges of the society have caused the foundations of such pious homes to rock as well. These homes are also witness to many trivial skirmishes, whether they are Namazis or whether they are Hajis, they have been robbed of the peace and tranquility in their homes, and the cause is none other than ignorance to the fundamental principle of leading one's life as prescribed by Deen. And the guidelines that were defined by our beloved Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam have been brushed aside. The wife has no guide, the husband seeks no guidance, and in the style of ignorance and lack of guidance, they are dwelling in absolute discomfort and agony. A person can take the beating of the outside world, but his world crashes if the challenges are being flung at him from within his own house. That agony leads to absolute bewilderment, and time is consumed in this grief such that the precious moments of life are wasted away. So, my listeners, what will be the guidelines to a peaceful life? The Noble Quran contains guidelines that, if followed by the believers, will lead them to a peaceful, promised by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah the most gracious says in the Quran, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً, means, and of his signs in that he created for you from yourselves mates, that you may find tranquility in them, and he placed between you affection and mercy. Marital life is truly a source of great bliss, the perfect harmony, a source of peace radiating between both the spouses. A woman and a man both fulfill each other's physical desires in this beautiful relation of marriage. Our Deen has highlighted the obligations that a husband and wife have towards each other explicitly and in detail. And what are the rights of women? So, my sisters, my mothers, and my all listeners, the fundamental right that a woman has is that she must enjoy protection of her honor, her physical self, her belongings, that her iman in the house of her husband. She must be at ease in her husband's home. She must have the confidence to call her husband's space her own. She must enjoy and have sense of attachment to her husband's house, and this comes naturally to her when the husband embraces his wife along with all her positive and negative traits. A woman is a human after all, and she should be allowed to err and make mistakes. If the husband picks on his wife's mistakes and discards her, then she feels that she appears to him like a flower that has lost its fragrance and its color. Then most certainly the wife will lose her sense of confidence and attachment in her spouse, and then the house of her husband will no longer feel like home. Her secrets will stay locked in her heart. She will lose her ability to express her desires to her spouse. It is the due right of a wife to get protection and backing from her husband so that she envelop herself in his existence. The wife must achieve the confidence that her weakness will be excused and understood. The wife has to be assured that she will be acceptable in day of health as well as in days of illness. It should not be such that if she falls ill, she is shipped off to her mother's house to recover also when she is in confinement. At the time of childbirth, she is sent off to her mother's place without mutual consent. Expenses should not be shoved on the shoulders of the wife's parents. Unfortunately, in such circumstances, the woman suffers from mental anxiety and stress. She is forced to believe that as long as she is healthy and able to satisfy her husband's sexual needs, and she is welcome, but as soon as she falls from that pedestal of ability, or she falls ill, or she is incurring expense, then she is a merely liability. A woman who is made to feel like this never achieves confidence. She stays complex and anxious, and it is but fair that the husband should then not expect her be exceptionally good to him and expect her to be exemplary in her treatment towards him. And so, to summarize, it is the right of a woman that she receive protection in her husband's home. It is the duty of the husband as well as his parents that they are mindful of how the girl that has wed into their homes is treated. They must ensure that she is well treated just as they would want their own daughter to be treated in their son-in-law's home. So, my listeners, I will tell you about the what is the criteria of iman. I think you all knows about the iman. What is iman? I have already discussed on the iman. What is iman? So now I am asking you about the criteria of iman. Also, it is a sign of Iman and of honors that one recognizes the rights of one's wife and one takes ownership of her expenses and well being. One should be accepting of her in times when she is unwell, just as they are most accepting in times when her health is stable. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. And of his signs is that he created for you from yourselves maids, that you may find tranquility in them, and he placed between you affection and mercy. This is time in the life of a married couple when there is love in the air. In these times, conflicts are overseen and ignored because of the physical attraction and need. There also comes a time in the life of a married couple when they will be old, when they will be sick, when they will not have teeth in their mouth, when they will be weak and feeble, when their senses will lose their prime strength. So, when all of that will happen, should one give up on their relations with their spouse? In this regard, the Quran guides us towards warahmah, meaning the love changes its expression from a physical style to that of compassion and kindness. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my listeners. So, we cover more topics on my next lecture. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.